February 9, 1945, North Sea. World War II was entering its Germany was losing on every so secret. Historians are still investigating it. Germany's situation was desperate. Allied forces were advancing from the west. Soviet armies were pushing from the east. Defeat seemed inevitable. So why wasn't this mission cancelled? That was the first mystery. With the war nearly lost, Germany was risking a valuable submarine on a journey thousands of miles long. Whatever it carried had to be important. The destination was Japan, Germany's ally in the Pacific. But the real question wasn't where the submarine was going. The real question was what it was carrying. Rumors spread for decades. Some claimed the cargo was gold, others believed it contained secret documents. But evidence would point towards something far more dangerous.
As the war dragged on, Germany and Japan became increasingly dependent on sharing military technology. Both nations were searching for anything that could change the outcome of the conflict.
According to historical records, it was transporting strategic materials and technology considered valuable enough to risk a dangerous journey across the world. But Germany had a problem. Allied intelligence services were intercepting radio traffic and monitoring secret communications across Europe. Gradually, British analysts began to suspect that an important German submarine was moving through the North Sea. The mission was no longer a secret.
We must find her.
It had become a target. Now both sides were racing against time. U-864 was trying to reach Japan. Britain was determined to stop it, and soon, a historic underwater hunt would begin. But before U-864 could even leave Europe behind, trouble struck. A mechanical failure forced the submarine to slow down. A mission built on secrecy was suddenly losing valuable time. The delay created a new problem. Every extra hour increased the risk of detection. The longer U-864 remained in European waters, the greater the danger became. To make repairs, the submarine was forced to alter its route. Instead of moving quickly toward the open Atlantic, it remained dangerously close to areas watched by Allied forces. At the same time, British intelligence was piecing together fragments of information. None of it seemed important alone. Together, it pointed towards something unusual. The British didn't know exactly what U-864 was carrying, but they knew one thing. Germany was protecting this mission at a time when every resource mattered. That was enough to trigger a response. A British submarine received orders to find and intercept the mysterious vessel before it could escape. The submarine chosen for the mission was HMS Ventura. Unlike large naval battles, this hunt would depend on patience, observation, and precise calculations. Days passed. Both submarines moved through the same waters, unaware of how close they were coming to each other. Then came the breakthrough. Acoustic signals from U-864's damaged engine created a sound that could be detected underwater. For the first time, HMS Ventura had a trail to follow. The hunt was over. The pursuit had begun. Finding an enemy submarine was difficult. Destroying one while both vessels were underwater was considered nearly had ever successfully sunk another submerged submarine in combat. Commander James Launders of HMS Ventura understood the challenge. He couldn't see his target. He couldn't use radar underwater. He had to rely entirely on sound. Every noise coming from U-864 became valuable information. Its engine vibrations revealed movement. Its course could be estimated, but estimation was not enough for an attack. To fire successfully, Launders needed to predict where U-864 would be minutes into the future. One mistake could allow the German submarine to disappear forever. Hour after hour, Ventura shadowed its target. The distance slowly decreased. The opportunity was getting closer. So was the risk. Meanwhile, the crew of U-864 had no idea that a British submarine was tracking them. Their attention remained focused on completing the mission. By now, Launders had gathered enough information to attempt something never done before: an underwater attack against a submerged target. The problem was that torpedoes could not instantly change direction. Everything depended on predicting where the target would move. Launders decided to spread his chances. Instead of firing one torpedo, he planned a sequence designed to cover multiple possible movements. Everything was ready. One decision would determine the fate of both submarines, and within moments, history was about to be made beneath the sea. On February 9, 1945, Commander Launders gave the order. 4 torpedoes left HMS Ventura, each aimed at a different predicted position of U-864. At first, nothing happened. The torpedoes disappeared into the darkness. Inside Ventura, the crew could do nothing but wait. Then U-864 detected danger. The German crew realized torpedoes were approaching and immediately began evasive maneuvers.
Dive deep!
The maneuver helped the submarine avoid the first torpedoes. For a brief moment, it seemed the attack might fail. But Launders had anticipated multiple escape paths. One torpedo was still moving toward a position where U-864 had not yet arrived. Seconds later, the prediction proved correct. U-864 turned directly into the path of the final torpedo. The impact was devastating. A powerful explosion tore through the submarine's hull deep beneath the North Sea. Within moments, U-864 was fatally damaged. The secret mission that Germany had tried so hard to protect was over. It was a historic moment. For the first time in recorded warfare, one submerged submarine had successfully sunk another submerged submarine. But while the battle was over, the mystery was just beginning. The submarine had disappeared beneath the sea, along with whatever it was carrying. The war ended just a few months later. U-864 was gone, and for decades its final resting place remained unknown. Along with it disappeared the answer to the mission's greatest mystery. As years passed, rumors continued to grow. Some believed the submarine carried advanced weapons technology. Others claimed it was transporting secret, but rumors are not evidence. Historians needed proof, and that proof would not begin to appear until the wreck itself was finally located. In 2003, after decades of uncertainty, the wreck of U-864 was discovered off the coast of Norway, resting hundreds of feet below the surface. The discovery answered one question. U-864 had been found, but it immediately created another. What exactly was still inside the wreck? As investigators studied historical records, a disturbing detail emerged. U-864 had been carrying hundreds of containers filled with mercury. Mercury was not a treasure, it was a strategic resource. During World War II, it was used in industrial and military production, making it valuable to wartime economies. The problem was that the containers had spent decades underwater. If they deteriorated, toxic mercury could leak into the surrounding environment.
Researchers soon confirmed their concerns. Mercury contamination was detected near parts of the wreck, turning a wartime mystery into an environmental challenge.
Suddenly, U-864 was no longer just a story about World War II. It had become a modern problem that governments and scientists still monitor today.
By early 1945, Germany knew the war was slipping away. That decision reveals just how valuable it's considered at the highest levels of the Nazi government.
The mission was part of a larger effort to strengthen cooperation between Germany and Japan. Even as both nations faced increasing pressure, they continued exchanging technology and strategic resources. In many ways, U-864 represented Germany's final hope. That technology and industrial resources could still influence the course of the war. But history moved faster than Germany's plans. Before the cargo could reach Japan, the submarine was intercepted and destroyed beneath the North Sea. As a result, the mission failed. The cargo never reached its destination, and whatever strategic advantage Germany hoped to create disappeared with the submarine. Yet failure did not erase the story. In fact, it made the mission even more fascinating, because the wreck preserved a snapshot of Germany's final wartime ambitions. Today, U-864 is remembered for two reasons. First, it was part of a highly secret mission. Second, it became the victim of a historic first in naval warfare. The attack by HMS Ventura remains the only confirmed case in history. It was where one submerged submarine sank another submerged submarine during combat. And the dangerous cargo that once fueled rumors of hidden secrets turned out to be something very real. Hundreds of containers of mercury still resting inside the wreck. So why did a dangerous secret bury a Nazi submarine? But the mystery survived, becoming one of World War II's repiable stories.